Charlie Schwerkolt is undoubtedly one of the friendliest faces in the supercars pit lane, and his motorsport experience is rivaled only by his success in business. In this chat, the owner of Team 18 and Waverley Forklifts gives me some insights on what it takes to be successful both within and beyond the supercars pit lane, and talks us through some of the challenges that he's faced over the years and how he's overcome them. Charlie Schwerkolt, it is great to be talking to you. You have such a rich and long history in our sport. You're such a familiar face around the paddock. So tell us a bit about your background in the sport.
Thanks for having me, Jess. Passion, love motorsport. From a very small age, grew up around the corner from Sandown and used to watch, Beachy and Moffat and Jane and all that sort of stuff around there. Used to love it, love going there. Was go-karting as a kid and always had that dream, I think I can drive okay, and dream of taking it further. But family business, got into forklifts, working for Dad. But I kept following the sport very, very closely, all the way through, loved the sport, and one day I'll get involved. Then an opportunity arose at, I think it was Winton in 2001, met Dick Johnson through a mutual friend. We hopped on a plane together and we sat next to each other and, what do you do? I'm into forklifts, and wow. Dick said, I need a forklift, as Dick does, and we struck a relationship back then. Tell
us about where that relationship then went and where that journey took you through the supercars pit lane.
So yeah, back in 01, as I said, and we struck a good friendship. It was a really good friendship. Dick was in a lot of trouble financially back then, an awful lot of trouble. He asked me a couple of times would I like to get involved. I started as a sponsor, and would I like to get involved? No, this team ownership stuff, and it's got whiskers on it, no way known. But, kept looking, and anyway, he had someone decided to take on a partnership with him, and that was John Marshall, and thought, yep, Dick's right now, and unfortunately it fell over at the last minute, right at the end of 2007. So I watched the team sort of really, the demise of going down and down and down. I took the plunge and took on a 50% role, running the team as CEO and MD of the business, relocated from cold old Melbourne up to Queensland, and set the journey of rebuilding a team with all the sponsorship and trying to make a very successful team, which we did.
Yeah, absolutely did, winning the championship in 2010, lots of success along the way, so that must be really satisfying to look back on your time in that era.
It was, yeah, it was very, very satisfying. The team was all there, had some great people in it, and it just needed rebuilding, financial support, and getting a proper structure, and it was great to win that championship. Right at Homebush there, right at the last minute, was just incredible, and I had some good drivers, it was a good team, great sponsors, and yeah, it was fantastic. But I guess that's the past now, and unfortunately it was a bit of a tumultuous end.
Tell us about business in motorsport. How do you create that balance?
It's about the people. We've got, so obviously I've got my two-car team now, and it's all funded by some fantastic sponsors, some really good sponsors, and the people you meet in motorsport, I've met some incredible people along the journey, but also from a business side of things with my own Waverley Forklift group, of combining them both, suppliers, sponsors, staff, all get involved. Some teams follow footy and cricket and all that sort of stuff. Our Waverley Forklift group really follow their own team, and while this COVID journey's been happening, we've been setting up in Melbourne and Sydney, and then we'll go to Brisbane and set up there, and they get such a buzz, the staff, of having their own supercar team, and you just lock things away with all your people, and it really works well. We've done some incredible deals with suppliers, etc., and it works.
Do you have a particular secret ingredient that has enabled you to strongly build this good culture, this strong culture of good people who've stayed with you for long periods of time and who've really been integral to the success of both your team and your business?
Passion. I've got the passion that I love doing what I do. It's a job, it's a hobby. To be successful in anything, you really have to have that passion. You gotta love what you do. But of course, the most important ingredient is the people. I've got some amazing people. You empower all your people, you build them up. It's a family environment, and they're incredible. They really are. And the whole forklift group, I've got 150 staff in total. They all love working for me. I love having these people, and I treat them the way I want to be treated, and it's really enjoyable.
When times do get a bit tough, how do you bring those people on that journey with you and give them the courage that it needs to get through to the other side of the challenges you're facing?
It's all about good leadership and especially communication. You have to communicate, and we have regular, updates. If there's anything with any announcements with supercars, you've got to tell them first so they feel part of the journey, and they want to hear from you, the leader. So they don't want to hear it from a media outlet or another team or anything like that. You have to communicate first and really get that out there. So communication is really the key, and great leadership, and something I think I'm good with our own team and staff at Waverley.
You've taken some leaps of faith over your time in supercars and probably in business as well. What has enabled you to really back yourself and take those leaps? What's given you that courage?
To be successful, you really have got to take a risk, and you've got to sometimes, and a lot of the time, which I've done, bite off more than I can chew, really push hard. And there's so many opportunities, and I'm not scared of opportunities. You resource it pretty quick, but you've still got to take a risk. And sometimes I get it wrong. Most of the time I think I get it right, and you can't be scared of failure. You really can't. You've just got to keep chewing and try and make it work. So yeah, it's about risk taking, I think, and having a great team around you.
What about family? How have you made sure that you've kept your family coming on this ride with you?
Yeah, look, 25 years of marriage this year, Karen and two kids, CJ and Thomas. They've been fantastic, and they support what I do very well. They really are. And Karen's brought up the kids, they're 18 and 20 now, and so yeah, it's, again, communication, and Karen's let me go on this journey, and she's looked after the family really well and brought up two amazing children. So yeah, it's been great.
Can you tell us about a specific time where you feel like your personal courage has been challenged? A time that you've overcome adversity, where you have felt like, oh, you really might be close to throwing in the towel. How have you overcome those moments?
The DJR breakup was a real messy one, obviously, and you think, wow, what have I done here, and how did all this happen the way it did? So that was a messy time in my life, but you've just got to dig deeper and really fight hard. When COVID hit last year, had hundreds of forklifts come back, and I thought, wow, this is actually a bit scary, and it was all unknown, but I've got a good judge of character to work through it and plough. I never give up, never ever give up. I just keep ploughing through, and with the people behind me, of course. And yeah, we've had some interesting times, but nope, just keep fighting and fighting, and you'll always win in the end.
We've talked a lot about people and the importance and the passion that it takes to bring those people along the journey with you. What has been your approach, apart from communication, what has been your approach to building that team up and getting to the solid two-car team that you're at today?
If you're going to do it, you've got to do it properly. And I haven't jumped in. I was a single car for many years, obviously, and it's got to feel right, and it's got to be backed right as well. Financially, it's got to be backed right. And Stanley Black & Decker have always wanted to, promote both their brands, and so we've had many meetings over the years, and they came on board and backed me as the second car, which is fantastic. And they've come along with the journey, and the model has to be right, the people, the performance, the whole structure has to be right to do it properly. I'm not going to do this to have another car on the track. It's got to be competitive, which we've shown obviously. In last year, I think we were 9th and 10th in the championship for our first year as a two-car team. And 2021, we need to go better and prove to our backers, the people that support the team, we can do better. So the model is all there. We've got the right people, the right structure, the right finances, and we've just got to keep building on that and doing it properly. And so we're a fair income team, and it's, yeah, really proud of what we've got built now, and we've got all the foundations, and now we've just got to keep performing and performing for all these people.
Can you tell us about any key people along your journey who've helped you get to where you are, or who've been integral in shaping who you are as a leader?
Oh wow, my dad is obviously he taught me so much in my life along the journey. Incredible man, and mum as well, and incredible people. But when you go to the racing team, getting Frosty on was a pretty big thing. Won championship, Bathurst, and for him to move from a successful operation to a single car, I needed to either build this and do it properly, and I needed someone like that I can build with, and he's been integral to build Team 18 to what it is today. I couldn't have done it without him, because he brought people along that, well, if Frosty's there, it must be a good place, and you know, you build and build, so that's been integral as well. Some incredible staff that I have in the whole Waverley Forklift group, incredible staff that have been there for 20, 30 years that I've been you know, working this journey through, so it's been great.
You're very hands-on, you've got a nice personal touch. I've heard stories about you doing your own pit tours for your sponsors and things, and really getting involved and making sure you know all of those people individually. How important is that personal touch? The
personal touch is really, it's important to me that I can keep everyone informed. They love having a pit tour from me. They really enjoy, you know, it's fair income. There's no crap. There's no, you know, I tell as it is and what's going on in the sport and what's going on with my team. And people really enjoy that. The staff really enjoy having me around. Bit of fun, bit of banter, stir them up and all that sort of stuff. I love being hands-on, but not too hands-on. I'm certainly not a person that controls everyone or anything like that. I'm really good at empowering all my managers in the whole group. There's managers everywhere, and empower them. They've got to build themselves as well, and enjoy the journey and the ride.
So tell us, what are the next big moves in the pipeline for you and the team?
The team at the moment is in a really good spot. Can't wait to just keep on racing, and you know, at the moment this little hiccup with COVID and all that, I just get it out of the way. We just need to go racing, and we've got lots and lots to do for all our sponsors, activation and corporate hospitality, and so much going on. And we're staying as a 2-car team. That's the model, that's it. There's no more cars or anything like that. There's no more series, that we're not doing Super 2 or anything like that. Really focus on building Team 18 and getting some good results. I like to deliver for all our sponsors and fans that we've got, and really want to deliver hard. So we've got 2 good drivers there with Frosty and Scotty, and continue that relationship and just build and get results. So look out, hopefully we can do it all, and it's a tough gig, as everyone knows. It's so close, and you know, we've just got to perform.
As we've been hearing, you're extremely well-rounded in both motorsport and business. So I'm interested to get your answer on whether there's a piece of advice that you've received over the years that has really stuck with you.
Obviously, you're going to have the best people. I scout around for people everywhere. I look wherever it is. Just getting the best people is the best piece of advice I can give to anyone. It's the secret of a successful world that I have, and that's as simple as it is. Better people than me.
Hire today who you want to be leading you tomorrow.
That's it, absolutely.
Well, Charlie, it's been really excellent hearing more about your journey, getting your insights, especially your wisdom on how to run a good team and a good business. So thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much, Jess. Thanks for having me.